What's going on, everybody? I'm back again with another video. It's a little rainy day out here, so I'm just waiting for the rain to chill down. But I want to explore a neighborhood that's not too far from my accommodation, which is like the Muslim quarter out here in Singapore with 19th century buildings. The neighborhood is called Kampong Glam, and I walked a little bit of it in the nighttime, but I couldn't really focus in the neighborhood. But now I'm gonna walk deep inside the neighborhood to see what's going on. I don't think it's really that big, but I'm gonna check out like the architecture, the beautiful streets, and see what's going on. But I'm gonna wait for the rain to tone down a little bit and then hit the street to see what's going on. So without further ado, join me. It was literally pouring earlier, but it's still a little bit of a drizzle. Yesterday it was over 100 degrees. Now it's 78, which is roughly like 26 Celsius. So, you know, at least it's not too hot. The good thing about Singapore, they have like this ceiling over here for the bus stop. So I'm kind of covering and sheltering myself from the rain. But there's also like a lot of buildings that connect you from one another without having to hit the streets. So that's pretty helpful out here. Round two, it literally rained all day yesterday, so I couldn't really go out and film, but I am back outside out here today. It's drizzling a tiny bit, but I think it's only gonna be for a bit. But now I'm gonna hit out the neighborhood and see what's going on over there and what can I capture. I think there's gonna be like some nice architecture, you know, it's gonna be a nice area. So here we go. And then the thing about Singapore, I think most of the neighborhoods, they look like this. It's mostly like residential units, apartments. So you would think it's just like nothing going on, just like residential units. But if you go like in the first floors, they have hawkers, they have like supermarkets and business. So, you know, it literally connects you from one side of the neighborhood to another one. So I discovered that where I'm staying. Like if you keep going forward, you keep discovering more things. I discovered yesterday when I was doing my laundry, I tried to find a place to do the laundry, and I discovered there's like kind of like shopping centers on the first floor of these residential units. So here's where the neighborhood starts to take shape. You can see the mixture of this architecture with the high-rise skyscrapers out here. So I'm gonna cross on the other side. And then this is like a residential unit. Like I say, a lot of people, I think most of the Singaporeans, they live in buildings like this. And there's a mosque over here on the other side of the street. Blue mosque, but it looks pretty nice. And a hotel over here. Here I am entering the neighborhood, and I think it's gonna be pretty interesting for me to look at, especially the little stores and restaurants. I wanna see what they got going on over here, so let's see what's happening. But here you see, you know, a couple of business surrounded by modern residential units, but I think in North Bridge Street, which is ahead of me, that's where the action of this neighborhood starts. And I guess there's many other neighborhoods out here in Singapore. So here we go. Wow, this is what you get. I think it's actually nicer from this side of the street, so I'm gonna wait for the lights to cross. And right now it's early in the morning, so I don't think you're really gonna see much action happening out here, you know. I'm just trying to rush because I don't know if it's gonna rain later, so taking advantage to make my content right now. It's double-decker buses, really cool. You can take them anywhere. So this is what the street looks like, you know. The architecture is like this. Mostly a lot of Chinese business out here. And then even on the Monday, I'm surprised how quiet the streets is. Then over here they got like, you know, business, galleries. So I think it'll be more interesting when I walk ahead. Then even in these little tiny streets, you know, they got restaurants. I see ramen joint right there. This is like a one-way street. They got more over this way. Let me walk over here. This is a good idea because, you know, if it rains, you can just shelter over here. Or if it's super hot and sunny, you could be under here, under the ceiling, so it protects you. Maybe that's why they design buildings like this in these countries, you know, because it gets really hot. Luckily, the weather is pretty nice today, you know, it's not too hot. Like 2 days ago, it was blazing hot, but then the rain yesterday it cooled down the temperatures a little bit, so. So one more block ahead of me, it should be pretty interesting. Gonna make it to my left, and this should be probably like a pedestrian plaza out here. But yeah, and also they got a mosque over here. I think it's like a 200-year-old mosque. And it's kind of like the main attraction of this neighborhood out here. But so far, you know, it's pretty nice. You can see the streets are pretty impeccable and clean and well organized. But that's, you know, Singapore. You know, here's Indonesian food. I noticed they have a lot of Indonesian restaurants out here. So Over here should be pretty interesting. There's like a plaza, you know, for us to walk. So let's see. I see people taking pictures. So I think at the end of that street should be the view of the mosque. Also, another thing I'm noticing that it seems to be famous out here is that they use the folding bikes. You don't see that pretty often in New York, but over here it's pretty common. And it's pretty good to use. You know, I have one of those folding bikes back home in the States. But over here I see like people, you know, literally using it. So it's pretty useful out here. Yeah, so this should be the main attraction over here. This is where people are taking their pictures. So let me see, I'm excited to see what the street looks like. Oh wow, it even has the cobblestone roads. Yeah, this is dope. This over here is nice too. They got like this mule over here that's pretty dope. So this is the iconic Sultan Mosque right here, as you can see. It's a beautiful mosque, and I think you could visit it. Not sure there's a fee to get in, but I see people going inside, and they have a restaurant right here. Quality, delicious food, you know. So yeah, it's pretty massive. And then I like the fact how they have this pedestrian plaza over here, and then, oh wow, it's a cool street. But I want to see what's happening ahead over here. It seems like they got like a mini market right here, so let me check it out. This is a beautiful mosque. I'm a fan of, you know, looking at mosque and different sites like this, you know. Even though I'm not Muslim, but it's still, you know, a good experience for me to look at this, you know, in these countries out here, so. Every street here is worth to look at, like over here. I'm gonna make it over that way in a bit, but let me see what's happening right here ahead of me, you know. I like the buildings over here with the street art. It looks pretty nice and gorgeous. And the neighborhood is not really that big, you know, but still, it's pretty nice to look at, you know, the way they keep the streets over here. See, look at the colors. Isn't it beautiful and gorgeous out here? And the sidewalks and everything, so. What is this, like a bakery? Must be famous because a lot of people are eating in the inside, so. I'm gonna make it to that pedestrian street that it looks actually really cool. I think that's where all the action happens. Then if you go back to Arab Street, I heard that street is actually vibrant too, especially in the nighttime. I walk past by in the nighttime, but I was actually like tired and a little dehydrated from the heat and humidity. But today the weather's lovely, so you know, it's gonna be a good day to explore out here. And this here is a Turkish restaurant over here. It's a nice looking street. This guy's flying a drone. That's so cool. I guess you move it with your face. That's actually really dope. So this is like a pedestrian area right here. And so far, I think this is my favorite neighborhood so far out here in Singapore. Wow, they got some pretty interesting restaurants too, with great food and cuisine. And then, yep, see a lot of people taking pictures. While a lot of people, they focus in the fountain where the lion is, I think this area is actually cooler because it's mostly like multicultural. You know, you see the colors and everything and the lights. So actually behind me is a better shot of the Sultan, the mosque right here. So I think in the nighttime, this neighborhood here comes out to life, you know, especially in the nighttime. I think the lights and everything, so I might come back and check it out in the nighttime to see what's going on over here. There's a lot of tons of neighborhoods out in Singapore, you know, they have like really cool streets like this, you know, like vibrant action in the night, and then of course the street food. So yeah, can't believe I missed this the other time, but I'm still here for another day. So like I said, I might come back either tonight or tomorrow night to see how the vibes change out here, you know, especially late at night. I'm just in love with these tiny streets, you know. Crazy how you have streets like this and then tall, high residential buildings over here surrounded, giving you a 360 view of what's going on here. And then, of course, then the food was pretty banging. Turkish food, that's one of my favorite type of cuisines too. So you got Turkish food out here, the authentic, you know, cuisine. But yeah, this is a nice street over here with the mosque all the way at the end. Go around this tiny street to see what's going on. This is pretty cool too, you know. You know, this is not pedestrian, but it seems like they got some pretty interesting restaurants out here. So crazy, they even have Italian over here. And I think this is a Korean sign, but they have, of course, you know, the Arabic signs. Then Turkish food right here, so it's pretty dope. Portuguese and Mediterranean, I've never seen that combination. Must be interested. Beirut Grill, I think this is Lebanese food out here. The Malayan Council. Like I say, it's pretty early, so that's why you really don't see much action. Like I say, if you come later in the evening or in the nighttime, I think this neighborhood comes out here to life. And this is not even far from our accommodation, so it's good to know. Now I'm gonna hit a street that is popular. It should be a block to my right, which is called Arab Street. So I think that street is literally filled up with stores, probably restaurants too, you know. So I'm gonna take a chance to see what's happening over there now. That's not too busy, so I have it all to myself. It's a regular street. Then you got the pedestrian bridge I can cross you to the other side. Now let's go over here to see what can we find. It look pretty nice street over here with the trees, you know. And thank God it's not too hot now. Like the weather's pretty nice. I think that's why I take advantage to explore. The first day that I got here and I was filming, I told you the heat was brutal to the point that it really took my energy away. But now, you know, it's pretty comfortable to walk out here. But it's gonna be the traditional famous Arab street, so we're gonna see what's going on right here. It's probably gonna be like a lot of nice stores and stuff. So that's it right now. It's not too busy, but like I said, I think it comes out to life in the nighttime, but there's a lot of restaurants, coffee shops out here, and restaurants from all over, not just like Middle Eastern food. They got, you know, like boba tea. Oh, I see even banh mi. Also Italian, let me show you. This is what you get, Persian carpet. It's just a little bit of a long street that goes all the way towards the end. Oh, this is dope. They sell like carpets or Arabic. This is nice. Pretty quiet out here now, but yeah. This is a mixture over here ahead of me, a Turkish and Lebanese restaurant. So I'm pretty sure the food must be bomb. Then the other street that would take you to where I was walking, so yeah. This area is more like clothing lines and textiles, you know, for your house, you know, decorations. A little bit of everything. They even got like money exchange out here. So yeah, it's really cool to look at. Then they got like a fruit store. Like I say, maybe because it's early in the morning, it's not even 11 o'clock yet. Let me see the time. Well, yeah, it is a little past 11 o'clock. So, but you know, I think if you come like in the afternoon or the nighttime, that's when it gets actually really busy out here. So, but yeah, you see what's going on. Mostly like female clothing lines, you know, decoration for your houses if you want anything of that. And then here, this is the main attraction that I was filming a little bit earlier. Right here, the Sultan. I like how they decorate this entrance over here, but it's super touristy, you know, for people to walk out here. So this over here is a famous area, so each of this have a nice decoration. You see people taking pictures with it, so history. I really love the details of the art that they put right here. And this mural, I just love it, man. If you guys know a little bit about me, you guys know that I'm a huge fan of street art, so I'm loving this area so far. Like I say, it's not really a big district or a big neighborhood, but I think it's super rich in history. So if you guys ever come to Singapore, then I think this is a neighborhood that you really got to make a stop out here. It's pretty worth for you to look at. So
I'm Martin. I'm from Masjid Sultan, and here I have my friend
Manny. Mani. Yeah.
Mani from New Jersey. Welcome to Sultan Mosque. Do I just say the this is a mosque that is established about 200 years from the time of 1819 to 2025. After reconstruction, this entire area, it used to be a village settlement. So imagine all these concrete buildings did not exist, but except for village houses, all made of wood, including the first version of this mosque, which was imagine like a triangle pyramid roof, all made of wood. And then they wanted to expand this place, and so they gave the job to redesign this building to a man from Ireland, Irishman. And after expansion, now if we stand close to each other in prayer, you can see our couples are all in rows, right?
Yeah.
Everyone side by side. The first floor and the second floor can hold about 5,000 people.
It's huge.
It's huge, but it's not the biggest mosque in Singapore.
No? Oh wow.
The biggest mosque in Singapore, they have 4 levels. It's 4 levels high.
Oh wow.
This one is, I believe, is one of the widest, if not
Pretty
the
wide.
widest.
The widest in Singapore. Wow.
Exactly. The carpets are
I
beautiful
love the
from
carpet.
Iraq, and even the chandeliers, which are a few of the elements that make this super grand mosque.
Yeah. Wow.
So every mosque in the world has an indication of Mecca, and this is indicated by, you see that white, how to say,
Yeah, I see it.
it's a calligraphic style, maybe conjured up 600 years back, especially when the Muslims had peace and wealth and prosperity,
Yeah.
and the art styles began to like kind of bloom.
True.
This is one of them, the calligraphy style. But even if you don't speak Arabic language, this is much easier to read.
Yeah, you can name it. Yeah.
This is the calligraphy style of the Quran itself.
Okay.
So the Arabic language has 28 alphabets, basically, and 3 main vowels. Right? And you can see there's a whole lot of dashes, symbols, like small little trinkets all around the alphabets. Right? So if you want to bring your attention to the dash,
Yeah.
if it's above the alphabet, it's R vowel R, and if it's below, it's E. And if it's this symbol here, it's U. So basically, you have 3 vowels, R, E, and U. مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين.
So I think that highlight my trip over here in this area, going inside the mosque and meeting Mahin. I forgot his name. Sorry if I pronounced it wrong. He probably watching the video, but you know, he gave me an introduction about the mosque. You know, a little bit of the Arabic language, and yeah, guys, you know, expand your mind. You know, try to open up to other cultures and see what's out here. But I think I'm gonna start wrapping up my video over here in this neighborhood out here in Singapore. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Stay tuned for more. Be safe out there, everybody. God bless y'all, and peace.